Another story for sleepless nights. Squinkle, Squinkle, Little Star by B.J. Griffith. Somewhere far off in space, a swarm of microscopic energy nodules, known as squinkles, is floating around in a wavy pattern, pulsating with rays of multicolored light, like a scrambled rainbow. Like celestial Lewis and Clarks, these squinkles navigate the cosmos for the discovery and exploration of the many tiny planets scattered around. On each new planet they find, they will seek out a temporary host, any living organism, so they can hitch a ride to see what life is like on that planet. Then they love to get together on occasion, like tonight, and share their various experiences, similar to cowboys who gather round the campfire to chew the fat and shoot the breeze. Squinkles communicate with each other through invisible ultrasonic waves, much like the common radio. While they don't have voices per se, they can and do animate their messages through fluctuating frequencies. If these transmissions could be heard, a lively conversation would sound like a symphony orchestra playing something like Vivaldi's Four Seasons, for example. Squinkles, harmonious beings that they are, take pride in not distinguishing themselves from one another in any way. But for the sake of this story, asteroid names have been assigned to them for clarity, and their pulsations have been roughly translated into everyday English, which is coincidentally the language of travel. Cybele, shining with excitement, takes the role of host. Hi, everybody. Has anyone been to any new and exciting planets? Lumen replied, blinking enthusiastically. I have just visited an interesting planet where everything was soft. Juno flickered. What do you mean by soft? Everything? Lumen went on. The actual surface of the planet was like a memory foam mattress. The clouds were low and touchable, soft and squishy like cotton balls. Silence descended over the glowing listeners while they mindfully imagined this magical place. All the creatures there were like teddy bears. My host was polka-dotted and very comfortable. We were surrounded by soft music, but not like the Carpenters or anything that soft. And even the nourishment was soft, like pudding and milkshakes. There were no predators, and everyone got along with each other as well as we do. The group collectively gleamed at this pleasant thought. The one sort of downside was the reproductive ritual. It was so soft it felt more like a warm handshake than what I'm used to, but it was very nice. The crowd shimmered with appreciation at hearing this interesting experience. Cybele perked up again. Well, thank you, Lumen. Anyone else? Palace flashed twice. I just came back from a planet where my host had 8 arms and 4 sets of eyes. We could move any speed in any direction. The planet was covered with pockets of slimy goop, canyons full of thorns, and bright pink sand dunes. They were trees of a sort, but they grew upside down. All the leafy part was at the bottom. Then the trunk jutted straight up and flattened out on the top, creating a nifty sleeping platform. With all those arms, we could easily scale the trunks and would sleep looking up with our many eyes at a purple sky studded with brightly colored asteroids. There were no predators, and we nourished ourselves on the fruit of those trees. Reproduction was achieved by entwining arms with another creature, forming a large ball, and then rolling around in the sand, being careful not to tumble into a thorny canyon. Kind of scary, but fun. The squinkles empathetically glistened. Gaspra chimed in next. Well, I probably had the scariest experience of anyone, though I'm sure many of you have been to that planet at one time or another. The Squinkles dimmed in suspenseful anticipation. Gasper shouted, I just got back from the planet Earth. It was suddenly like the 4th of July among the Squinkles, with blinding flashes of light, cascading patterns, bursts and bolts. Indeed, it appeared that many Squinkles had visited Earth and retained vivid memories of the experience. Gaspra waited patiently for everyone to settle back down. But I'm back. I'm here with you. I'm safe and sound. Young little Maya blinked and whined, I've never been there. What's so special about Earth? There was more pulsating light all around. Elderly Iyaya explained, Earth is a strange and wondrous place. Its surface is primarily solid, with canyons, mountains, and sandy beaches and deserts. There's a lovely liquid, sometimes clear, sometimes blue or green, that forms puddles, large and small, or flows in streams, rivers, and even moves in huge waves in the big oceans and seas. Cybele then added, there is a wide variety of lovely vegetation there. Trees, shrubs, grasses, cacti, and flowering plants. The nourishment grows right up out of the ground or hangs from trees. There are even edible creatures in the oceans, lakes, and rivers. Earth is a rich and beautiful place, offering a variety of wonders not present anywhere else in the cosmos, right? The crowd twinkled in agreement. Maya wavered in confusion. Then why does everyone seem so frightened when speaking about Earth? Are there many predators? Oh, the Squinkles flared in response, and another set of fireworks shot upwards. Gaspra took over now. It's hard to imagine, Maya, how many different types of predators there are on Earth. The planet is covered with wildlife, creatures with fur, feathers, or scales. With their razor-sharp teeth or deadly claws, they attack and kill other creatures and sometimes even eat them. There are flying beasts with sharp beaks and wicked talons. Other types, sometimes poisonous, slither through the grass or creep up the walls. You can be squeezed to death, eaten alive, gored, trampled, injected with deadly venom, or even die from too much water or sunlight, from too much heat or cold. Life on Earth is like living on a minefield. Maya shuddered, and the lights wavered. Well, what was your host like? Could it fight off the predators? Iyaya answered, the very strange thing about the planet Earth is this. The typical host there is called a human being, or humans for short, which is a creature with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head that houses a brain that's supposed to be more advanced than any other creature on that planet. But for some odd reason, humans don't use their brains properly, and as a result, humans have become their own worst predator. The sky was illuminated by harsh bursts of light. Maya was shocked and blinked several times like a light bulb about to burn out. How can they be their own predators? Are they cannibals? Iyaya explained. No, they don't eat each other. It just seems that they don't always like or respect each other or know how to get along with each other. For example, humans like to collect a lot of things. They pad their dwellings and their sleeping quarters with cushions and pillows and stacks of things. They have machines that project pictures onto a frame and other machines that make rhythmic noise. But suddenly, one human will take the other human's things without asking. That's just one way they demonstrate how they cannot seem to live in harmony. Cybele added, sometimes humans dislike each other so much that they have long ceremonies called wars. where they use machines to send projectiles against each other, damaging them till they cease to function. It's what they call death. Gaspra went on. There are many other crazy things they do on Earth. The humans are self-destructive in many ways, including what they choose as nourishment. They don't just eat the nice things growing on trees or growing out of the ground, but other things full of unnatural ingredients that end up making them sick. And they throw their trash around, making the lakes and streams and forests messy and dirty. In addition, they've invented noisy boxes that carry them around, which is an okay idea, except then they had to create long paths for them that horribly zigzag all across the pretty countryside, and the boxes even expel gas that makes everything sick. Then sometimes the boxes crash into each other, and there's even more death. Yikes, exclaimed Maya. How long does a human life last? Cybele replied, a long time, especially when their bodies get hooked up to machines and tubes. But most humans are unhappy and don't feel very connected to each other. I don't know how it actually works, but I've heard that if a human decides to jump ship or get the hell out of Dodge, as they sometimes say, before their time on Earth is up, then they will be recycled as a different human and have to start all over with an entirely new life there. Oof. So most humans just try to ride it out in spite of their fear and suffering, hoping a future life may be in a more hospitable environment. The lights of all the listeners started to dim. Suddenly, a newcomer, Fortuna, spoke up. Hey, wait a minute. Not all humans have to live forever in pain, fear, and unhappiness. There's an antidote on Earth. Maybe you just haven't spent enough time there to have seen or experienced it. The group blinked hesitantly. The antidote to all that is a thing they call love. Fortuna twinkled as she said it. You have to look closely. Love is an invisible energy source, like magnetism or the wind. You cannot actually see it. You can only see what it does, how it moves and attracts things. When you look at a mother human, for example, you will see how tenderly she holds her babies, sings to them, and rocks them. Then watch old humans, and you will see them gently hold hands and help each other move around. Young humans play and laugh together. You can even see large groups of humans go into buildings where they will chant and sing together and be peaceful and kind to each other. Some of the other Squinkles were blinking in agreement, for when visiting Earth, they too had sometimes seen these kind actions, but were so worried about being mugged, run over by a truck, or attacked by a wild animal that they didn't pay much attention. Fortuna concluded, that element of love is so magical, even if it is love for an animal or a plant, that it can make a sad human happy and a lonely human feel connected. It gives humans energy, comfort, strength, understanding, connection, purpose, and joy, all the things humans need to be truly well. And while humans may never be quite as brilliant as we are, with love they can shine in their own special way. While the Squinkles focused on the magical power of love, the heavens were flooded with an iridescent glow as awesome as the aurora borealis. Thank you.